Gideon Frost and Penny Rose. Chapter 1. Amalia. For fuck's sake, I mutter under my breath, watching as another load of bags crawl past me on the conveyor belt. None of them are mine. Everyone on my flight has collected their bags and left, and now there's a load of people I don't recognize getting theirs. I glance at my watch, realizing it's been 45 minutes since I got off the plane. Clearly, the airline has lost my bag on the way here from San Diego. I draw in a deep breath and turn away from the baggage reclaim, searching for my airline's help desk. When I finally find it, my cell phone rings and I pull it out, groaning when I see it's Uncle Remy. "Hey," I say.
"Where are you?"
He growls, sounding irritated. "I've been waiting for my bag for 45 minutes, and it still hasn't turned up." I meander toward the desk to put in a claim for the lost baggage. I think they lost it.
"Fuck's sake. I haven't got time to sit out here all day waiting for you, Amalia."
I roll my eyes, as it's not my fault they lost my bags. Right, because I made sure they lost my bag on the way here solely to piss you off. I sigh heavily. Go home and I'll catch a cab when I'm done. I don't know how long it'll take to file a claim. I'm surprised he actually came himself to pick me up rather than send one of his men anyway. There's a few moments of silence.
"No, I have a meeting to attend in 20 minutes. I'll send my driver back to pick you up."
I nod, even though I know he can't see me. Sounds good. I'll see you later. I cancel the call, not waiting for his response, and stuff my cell phone back in my pocket as I reach the desk. A woman with long blonde hair either doesn't notice me approach or is ignoring me as she types frantically on the keyboard. I clear my throat and she glances up, eyes narrowing. "How can I help?" "I think your airline has lost my bag, as I've been waiting 45 minutes and it still hasn't come out of baggage reclaim." I shrug. "Everyone on my flight has left." She rolls her eyes as she types on her computer again. "Name?" "Amalia Allegro," I say, clenching my fists, as this woman is beyond rude. Her brow furrows as she glances up at me. "Can I see your boarding pass, please?" I open my bag and rummage through it, searching for the boarding pass. My stomach dips when I can't find it. Shit. I think I lost it. She tilts her head. "And how do you expect me to check on this for you without your boarding pass?" I grind my teeth. "Surely you'll have a record of my boarding pass on your computer." I dig out my passport and place it on the desk. "Here's my ID." "I'm sorry, without your boarding pass, I can't make a claim. It's company policy." "Are you fucking joking?" I ask. "Your airline has lost my bag, and I want to see your manager right now." She blows out an irritated breath. "The manager isn't on duty right now." Seriously, this is the worst customer service I've ever experienced. "There must be someone on duty who is more senior than you. I want to see them now." She glares at me before giving in and heading into the back. When she returns, a young, dark-haired man follows her. "The best I can give you is the airport baggage manager. He'll take you to the other terminal to check the bag hasn't gotten mixed up and sent to the wrong place." My brow furrows as I stare at the guy, finding it a little odd. "And if the bag isn't there?" She rolls her eyes. "We'll deal with that if we come to it." I grind my teeth and nod. The man smiles at me, but it isn't friendly.
"Follow me."
I follow him the opposite way to the exit, unsure where exactly he's taking me. "Isn't the other terminal in the opposite direction?" He shakes his head.
"We're cutting to the staff area."
I nod in response, allowing him to lead me through an off-limits section of the airport. It's odd that he's allowed to bring me through here, considering airports are always so hot on security. I ignore my unease and follow him down the long, dark corridor.
"What flight did you arrive on?"
He asks, attempting to make small talk. "Flight from San Diego. I've been waiting for my bag for over 45 minutes. I sigh heavily, glancing at my watch. Perhaps I should have ditched on my best friend's wedding 3 days ago and traveled with my mom and Fabio and Gio a week ago, as I hate traveling alone, especially when it doesn't go smoothly. I couldn't do that to Gabriella. We've been best friends since we were toddlers, and I was her maid of honor, even though I'm not too keen on her choice of husband. How far is the terminal? It's oddly quiet down in this staff area as we continue, and we don't pass another person.
Not too far. It is quicker than taking the long way around.
I clench my jaw as we turn a corner, only to be met by a darker corridor. Dread creeps in as I'm unsure where the fuck this guy is taking me. I fiddle with the hem of my shirt, becoming increasingly nervous. It's dark down here. He shrugs.
I guess the airport doesn't like to light it when few people come down here.
I swallow hard, my steps faltering until we round another corner into a lighter corridor. My brow furrows as I notice a light ahead coming through a large door. Is that the terminal ahead? He glances over his shoulder and nods.
Yeah, almost there.
I relax, feeling a little less on edge as I hasten my pace, eager to get the fuck out of this creepy part of the airport. As he comes to the door, he glances at me.
Out here.
He pushes open the door and I step through, only to be met by 3 other men standing in my path, all of them looking menacing. What the fuck?
Here you go, lads. Amalia Allegro, as promised.
The so-called baggage manager announces. I glance at him questioningly.
Sorry, sweetheart. It's not personal.
And then he walks away, leaving me alone with the 3 men. I spin around and try the door he disappeared back through, but it's locked. Fuck. One of the guys' smirks widens.
Yes, you're fucked.
I swallow hard, noticing he has a distinctively Eastern European accent. What do you want? The same guy laughs, glancing at the 2 men flanking him.
What do we want, boys? You.
One of the men answers. He smirks.
Yes, the perfect piece of leverage delivered right to us, tied with a pretty little bow.
His eyes scan the length of my dress, which does indeed have a bow stitched to the front. The other guy remains silent, but the look in his eye is one of pure malice.
Snatcher.
The guy seemingly in charge says. The other 2 men step forward and my heart pounds so hard it feels like I'm going to throw up. I duck once they're close and get under one of their arms, trying to run past the middle guy, but he snatches me around the waist.
Chozakalima.
He growls something in a foreign language.
You idiots can't do anything right. Open the back of the van.
I fight against this guy, trying to kick him as he drags me toward the back of a white truck which is open. Get the fuck off of me! After a ridiculous amount of writhing, I slip my leg into a perfect position and kick him in the gut.
Blab.
He shouts as I take off in the opposite direction of the door I came through, pounding so fast away from them. My heart thuds faster than my feet on the concrete, and the men shout behind me as they pursue me. I can't believe I trusted that airline receptionist or the fucking bastard who claimed to be the baggage manager. Both may well work for this place, but someone paid them to bring me out here. I don't have a clue where I'm going as I come to a dead end behind a locked gate, trying to search for an escape. Shit. My only option is to slip into another building to my right, but they'll know I've gone in there since there's nowhere else to go. Their footsteps get closer, and I run through the door, hoping beyond hope there's an exit. The building is derelict and not used as I rush through the hallway toward the back, realizing it's some kind of warehouse. The echo of the door opening behind me makes my stomach dip, and then their murmuring voices follow. I slip through a small crack behind an enormous machine to the right and crouch down, knowing that I'm out of options. I can't believe that attending my best friend's wedding has landed me in this kind of shit. If I had to guess, they're Russian and members of the Volkov Bratva, whom my uncle has always had a tenuous relationship with. My pursuer's footsteps grow closer as I place my hand over my mouth, trying to deaden the sound of my heavy breathing. I shut my eyes, praying that by some miracle they don't find me behind here. The guy I kicked comes into view through a small gap in the machinery hiding me. I duck lower, struggling to contain my fear. My entire body shakes as I know what it means for me if I get caught by the Bratva.
She's not over here.
The guy nearby calls, making hope rise to the surface. There's a thud of footsteps.
She has to be here somewhere. The Bahan will kill us for failing.
The man who had remained silent up to now says.
Check every fucking inch of this place again.
The leader says. The two other guys head off, but the man who appears to be in charge lingers nearby. He starts moving stuff around, muttering to himself in Russian. I keep my hand over my mouth, knowing that one sound could give me away. He gets closer, and then he peers around the back of the machine, his ugly smirk splitting his face in two.
There you are, princess.
I shudder. Stay the fuck away from me! He reaches through the gap and grabs hold of the front of my dress, dragging me out. My arms scrape against the metal, and it cuts through my skin, blood trickling down my skin.
Got her!
He shouts. Let go of me! I try to break away, but he holds me firmer than before.
No chance. Our boss wants you badly, Amalia.
I bite the inside of my cheek, knowing I don't really want the answer to my next question. And who is your boss? He smirks.
You'll have to wait and find out.
He nods, and that's when I realize that the guy who had hardly spoken is behind me. He grabs my shoulder and jabs a needle into a vein in my neck, pushing drugs into my system. What the hell? I try to break away again, but my vision blurs almost instantly. Whatever shit he just pumped into me is strong, as my captor's face blurs. What'd you give me? I can't even speak properly as I slump against him, struggling to keep myself upright. And that's when the leader halts me over his shoulder, and my entire world turns black.
Chapter 2. Spartak. You shouldn't have crossed us, Liam. I walked around his bloodied, beaten body. Liam was our informer on the inside of the Callahan clan. But this idiot ran the moment the war broke out. He's been in hiding ever since, until Timur tracked him down this afternoon at a dive bar. It's been too long since my last torture session, and it feels like my skin is crawling over my flesh. After all, Maxim denied me the satisfaction of taking my violence out on Daniel, deciding to involve his wife. His green eyes are dilated with fear as he stares at me. I didn't betray. I slam my fist into his face, shutting him up before he can finish his sentence. I don't want to hear it. Blood trickles down his chin from his mouth, and I delight in the sight, smirking. All I want to hear is you dying as I torture you slowly and painfully. I walk toward the table, where I keep several torture implements, and pick up a pair of pliers. I'm in the mood for inflicting serious pain with minimum damage, as I'm unsure how long it'll be until I get my next victim down here. Hopefully, if my men can be competent, they'll be bringing me a little slice of deliciousness later today, a new toy to play with. But it's always a different brutality when I deal with a woman. Amalia Allegro should arrive at Chicago O'Hare Airport at any moment now. She arrived later than her mother and Fabio and Gio, her two brothers, who turned up a week ago. Amalia Allegro's father died before she was born, but her mother took over control of their criminal enterprise, which is a strange feat in this day and age. Most men don't want to take orders from women. I think it helps that she's the coveted baby sister of my enemy, Remy Moroni. When I learned of Amalia flying into the O'Hare Airport today, I recognized our chance to take something precious from the Moroni family. After all, I couldn't sit back and do nothing. Moroni has always been our biggest enemy, but someone killed Ronan Callahan in Padoka and pinned the death on our family, throwing the city into chaos. The Irish were our allies, in a city where chaos reigns, as everyone wants a piece of the action. I needed to take drastic measures to counter the Moroni family's growth. 10 years ago, We were the most powerful family in Chicago, and now we're struggling to keep our heads above water as the organizations of the city come to blows. The Italians and the Irish aren't the only vultures looking to swoop in and make gains. The Estrada cartel remains neutral, but they aren't to be underestimated, and the bikers are hotheads that can't be trusted not to make a killing out the back of this war. I circle Liam again, delighting in the way his entire body shakes with fear. Once I'm standing in front of him, I move forward and grab a finger, gripping the end of his nail with the pliers and tearing it off of him. The scream he emits is beyond satisfying, a sound that helps ease the chaos. But nothing beats taking a man's life. I work on all 10 of his fingernails, ripping them off slowly to inflict maximum pain. Blood drips from his fingers as his eyes loll back in his head, the pain almost becoming too much for him to bear. I grab hold of his chin and dig my fingernails into it hard. Now, Liam, no feigning on me. I've barely even warmed up yet. His eyes are so dilated, they're almost entirely black, and I relish the image.
Please, Spartak, I didn't give anyone any information. I
slam the pliers into his mouth and grab his tongue, pulling hard. Don't make me tear your tongue out, Liam. My cell phone rings, making me growl as I release his tongue and step away. What is it? I snarl. Sir, it's done, Vitali says. I tied Amalia Allegro up, and she's unconscious at the docks, as promised. Some of my rage eases, hearing that my men actually pulled it off. We have Remy Maroney's niece in our hands. Great. How long will she be out? About 4 or 5 hours, as she put up a bit of a fight, and I had to dose her up pretty good. I smirk at that. Good. Make sure you keep the docks guarded until I get there. I cancel the call and glance at the pathetic piece of shit I've been torturing. I'm going to have to speed this up and get Maxim over to the docks to explain my plan to him. Maxim won't like it, but then he hasn't liked any of my plans lately. No one except my brother knows about our new venture. But I don't trust that snake not to say something to my son to stir up trouble. I know Maxim is hung up on me shooting Victoria, but I won't apologize for protecting our brotherhood from a traitor. Her betrayal stung me like nothing ever has. Marrying a man who outright declared war on our family is a disgrace to the Volkov name, even if Maxim insists they love each other. It makes me sick to my stomach. It looks like you have got off easier than expected, Liam. His shoulders slump in relief. But little does he know that this news only cut our fun short. He'll be dead faster than I'd intended, as I don't have the patience to have 2 torture victims on the go at the same time. I turn my attention back to my cell phone and call my son.
Hey, what's up?
Maxim answers, sounding agitated. Can you meet me down at the warehouse at the docks in 1 hour instead of the restaurant? I ask. He sighs heavily.
Sure. Why?
I'll explain once we're there. I cancel the call, not allowing him the luxury of questioning me further, as I haven't got long to finish my victim. I could leave the fun until after I bring Amalia here, but I'd rather focus on one victim at a time. I move back to the implement table and grab the curved sickle knife, smirking as I glance back at my prey. A flash of memory enters my mind as I stare at the knife. The same knife my father made me use the first time he brought me into this same chamber. I was 7 years old when he introduced me to the delights of torture. My mother begged him not to start so early, but he insisted I was getting off lightly, as his parents did not shield him from the brutality of war or torture in Russia. What she never knew was what my uncle did to me when we were alone. That's what truly scarred me in irreparable ways. I know his actions are in part to blame for my sickness, but there's no fixing it. Not now. This is who I am. Many have feared the Volkov name for years because of our brutality. It's a signature of our family that can't be lost, even though I went easy on Maxim compared to my father. The scars are like a birthright that you need to endure in order to claim the throne. I guess when I first carved a man up at only 7 years old, I was scared, but I soon learned to enjoy it. It became a pastime I couldn't escape, even if it earned me the rather well-earned title of Psycho. I test the sharpness of the sickle, pricking my skin and watching the blood pool on the surface. Perfect. Liam's eyes widen when he sees the knife, as it's my signature weapon. Although I've been getting quite fond of frying men to death lately with a high-voltage device.
Come on, Spartak, seriously. We can talk about this.
I march over to him and force his jaw open, yanking his tongue forward and slicing it off and tossing it aside. That's better, I say, as blood spurts unrelentingly from his mouth, splattering my face. I was fed up with hearing you speak. I hook the end of the blade into his chin and force him to look me in the eye as blood trickles down the knife. I want to watch your eyes while I bleed you dry, because you crossed us and ran rather than facing your duties like a man. No one lives after fucking with us. He tries to speak, his jaw working, but without a tongue, it comes out like a gargled humming sound. I slam the hooked knife into his gut and tear through his abdomen, forcing his eyes wide open. I'm going to gut you like a fucking pig, and then feed you to the dogs. No one will ever find your body. I rip the knife through him, pulling out his guts. The pure anguish in his eyes, as I watch him bleed out in front of me, spurs me on, as I wait to see that light in his dim because of me. Once his body turns cold and pale and his eyes glaze over, I finally drop the knife on the floor and turn toward the sink in the corner. I run the faucet and wash the blood off my hands and face, glancing at myself in the mirror. I stained my shirt with blood, but I don't have time to change. Instead, I grab my suit jacket off the hanger and head out of the room, leaving the chaos behind me. Power flows through my veins as I shred another part of myself. I watched and enjoyed that man's death as much as I do anything on this planet. It's a sickness, and one I revel in. Happy birthday to me.
I don't like it.
I clench my jaw. Don't be a fucking sissy, Maxim. I taught you to have a thicker skin than to piss yourself over a few women being sold. I notice the flash in his eyes when I mention my teachings. He resents me because I was tough on him. He crosses his arms over his chest.
This isn't the Volkov way. Since when do we go around copying our enemies?
I rub the back of my neck. Since their power has increased unchecked, while war wasn't on the cards. The Irish may have started this war, but we both know they're not the true threat to us. There are only two real players in the war, and it's us and the Italians. Maxim raises a brow, observing me for a few beats.
I've got to go,
he says, turning his back on me. Rage coils through me as I grab him by the shoulder and yank him back to face me, hard. Remember your place, boy. I clench my fists, trying to stop myself from hitting him. You don't turn your back on me unless I dismiss you. Maxim's jaw clenches.
I apologize, but I'm late for a meeting with Timur to discuss Andrei's reaction to us cutting him off.
It kills him to apologize to me, as he wants to hurt me. I've seen it in his eyes ever since the incident with Vicky. What reaction?
He pulls a piece of paper out of his pocket, passing it to me. He's not happy. Reconsider your position, or experience the full terror of the New York Bratva. I will not hold back because of past alliances. Andrei Petrov. That fucking piece of shit, I growl, thrusting the letter into Maxim's chest. Why didn't you tell me about this? Because I don't tell you every little thing that happens, Father. He slides the letter back into his pocket. I have half a mind to shoot my son any minute if he doesn't stop acting like a fucking idiot. I'm the Pahan of this Bratva, and if something as significant as a threat from the Petrov Bratva lands on your desk, you come to me first. Do you understand? I shove my finger into his chest. Maxim nods. Yes. I merely thought Timur was best at dealing with this. After all, it's only words. He wouldn't dare attack us here in Chicago unless he has a death wish. This is why I don't trust my son. He underestimates what our enemies or allies are capable of. You don't know Andrei and what he's capable of. I spin my back to him. Report to Timur and get his opinion on how to handle it. I want a meeting set up for tomorrow morning to discuss this. Sure. I'm going to be late. Go. I wave my hand. I'll see you tonight at the party. Of course. S dnем рождения. I wince at the half-hearted happy birthday greeting from my son, knowing that he'd forgotten. It does not matter, as right now, the only thing I'm interested in is unwrapping my birthday present. I turn back around once Maxim is gone and fix my eyes on the pretty little niece of Remy Moroni. She's a beauty to behold, and I think I'm going to delight in tormenting her. I grab the black fabric hood off of an old rusty bench and walk toward her, as I want her to be blind when she wakes. I have a drug that should bring her around in the next half an hour. I can't wait to play with my new toy.
Chapter 3. Amalia. I groan as my head pounds and my eyes flicker open, only to be met with pitch-black darkness. That's when I realize my arms are killing me as they're tied above my head, and I'm hanging from a fucking ceiling. Panic kicks in as the reason it's so dark is that some son of a bitch put a cloth hood over my head. I kick around, thrashing out in terror as my memories resurface. The airport and the so-called baggage manager who was helping me find my bag. It was a fucking trap, and I should have seen it coming a mile off.
I wouldn't waste all your energy if I were you.
A deep Russian voice cuts through the silence, stealing my breath away and forcing me to turn rigid. "Who are you?" I ask, hating the way my voice breaks. There's a soft chuckle as his heavy footsteps move closer and closer.
It doesn't matter who I am. It matters what you can do for me, Amalia.
I swallow hard, realizing that I've flown right into a war zone and walked straight into one of my uncle's enemies' traps like a fucking idiot. "What do you want?" I ask, trying to steady my voice.
I want an end to this war, just like your uncle.
A shiver travels down my spine as I sense he's close to me, as the rasp of his heavy breaths get closer, making my heart race unevenly in my chest. I'm not sure how I can help with that.
You're my leverage, little girl,
he murmurs.
I wonder if you're as beautiful as they say you are.
He yanks the hood off of me, and I groan, squinting to see my tormentor. Even though it's only dimly lit wherever we are, my eyes are too fucking sore, and I have to blink multiple times before everything becomes clearer. My heart leaps in my chest when I stare into the pale gray-blue eyes of a man so beautiful. It looks like he dropped from heaven. He's older, perhaps late 30s, early 40s, with dark curling hair and a neatly trimmed beard. His features are so perfect and rugged, and there's a hint of ink peeking out from beneath the collar of his tightly fitted white dress shirt. A dress shirt that is splattered with blood. The man is tall, but it's hard to estimate how tall, considering I'm hanging from the ceiling. If I were to guess, about 6'3". He strokes a hand across his beard, drawing my attention to the ink covering the back of them. The corner of his mouth turns up into a rather unpleasant smirk.
Hey there, baby girl.
My stomach flips at that nickname, and I shuffle uncomfortably, wincing at the pain radiating through my shoulder blades. It's Amalia, I say. He tilts his head slightly, watching me with the most unnerving look in his eyes.
I know your name.
Who are you? I ask. He raises a brow.
So you don't recognize me?
I swallow hard. Should I recognize you? I ask, squinting harder and trying to rack my brain. I'm pretty sure I'd remember if I'd seen this stunningly beautiful man before. He crosses his arms over his broad chest and narrows his eyes.
I'm Spartak Volkov.
The blood drains from my face as I stare at the man before me. A man rumored to be so fucking unhinged that even my uncle fears him deep down. He'd never admit it to his face, but Remy is terrified of what Spartak is capable of. I see, I squeak out, sounding more like a mouse than a girl. This situation couldn't be any fucking worse.
Fear. It's strange how my name can draw it out of people so easily,
He says, walking in a circle slowly around me, setting my already frayed nerves on edge.
When I first looked into your eyes, Amalia, I saw desire.
That's not,
Silence.
he says. The tone of his voice is calm, and yet more fear-inspiring than if he shouted.
You liked what you saw. I noticed the way your chest heaved more violently, and your eyes dilated, and then the moment I told you my name, sheer, intoxicating fear replaced the desire.
He chuckles, but it's not a pleasant sound.
I find both arousing, although fear is my favorite.
He returns to stand in front of me.
It really gets me hard when a girl fears me.
My throat bobs as I swallow hard, staring at the monster in front of me. That's because you're depraved. A wide smirk splits his face in two.
Indeed. If that was intended as an insult, then you clearly don't know the kind of man I am, baby girl.
A shudder races through me, hearing him call me that again. I can't understand why anything this man says affects me, but every time he says baby girl in that Russian accent, my panties get damper between my thighs. It's fucking weird, as this man would probably laugh as he carved me into pieces and shipped me to my uncle. Another shudder races through me, but this time out of fear. Stop calling me that. His eyes darken.
Do you really think you're in any position right now to make demands of me?
I don't answer him, glancing around at my surroundings, only now noticing we're in some run-down old warehouse.
Answer me!
He roars, making me recoil in response. I swallow hard, narrowing my eyes at him. I forgot what the question was. His fists clench by his side, and his muscles bunch as he looks ready to unleash his rage on me in full force. Perhaps I'm going to die here, beaten and bloodied under Spartak Volkov's fist. I screw my eyes closed as he advances toward me, but instead of being punched in the face, he unties that painful restraint from my arms, and I drop to the floor in a heap. "Cazzo!" I growl, glaring at the man who just bruised my ass. What the fuck was that for?
You have a dirty mouth on you, for such a pretty little thing.
He breathes, kneeling down in front of me so those pale blue-gray eyes are level with mine. The scent of him invades me, and it's the most masculine scent I've ever encountered. It's musky and woody with a hint of alcohol, which I detect on his breath.
I've got some rules for you.
What rules? I ask. He grabs hold of my chin forcefully, angling it up to him as he studies me.
No talking back, and no questions from here on in. When you address me, I want you to call me Daddy. Do you understand?
A flash of heat spreads through me like a wildfire through a drought-ridden forest. No chance. Why would I call you Daddy?
Because I make the rules, and you can't deny me, baby girl.
I don't know what sick game you're playing, but you'll have to kill me before I call you that. He growls, letting go of my chin and holding my gaze.
You'll learn the hard way then. Every person, man or woman, can be forced to submit.
He brushes a hair from my face, and I swat his hand away, which results in him grabbing my wrist hard and yanking me toward him.
I will break you, and once I do, you'll fucking call me Daddy whenever I want you to. Do you understand?
I glare into his eyes. You'll never break me. He chuckles and releases my wrist, standing and towering over me.
Every person has a breaking point, little lamb. Even I do. But no one has got close to finding out what it is.
He grabs a handful of my hair and yanks me to my feet with it, practically tearing it from my scalp. Fuck you, I say, finding courage from somewhere, somehow. I won't lie down while this piece of shit bulldozers over me. My mom taught me better than that. I don't have a breaking point.
What a naughty little liar you are. I can't wait to spank the denial right out of you.
He grabs hold of my wrists and binds them together with rope roughly, making sure it's tied so tightly it feels like it's cutting the circulation off.
Time for me to take you somewhere more private, Mariska.
I shudder as he grabs my hips, an involuntary reaction to his rough handling. The scent of him is overwhelming as he hauls me over his shoulder. I beat my tied fists against his back of solid muscle, but all he does is give me rope burn as he walks right out of the warehouse toward a parking lot. A vehicle is waiting with the engine running, and someone speaks in Russian to Spartak as I hear the door open. That's when I'm bundled into the back roughly like a doll, my head hitting the side of the door as I fall head first into it. Damn it! I swallow hard as I struggle to sit up straight, with the restraints binding my wrists. And then I sense him slide close to me, his arm pressed against mine as he gives me no space at all, infecting the air with that harsh yet intoxicating scent of him. Every aspect of this man is a warning as I glance over at my captor, wondering what insane plans he has for me. "Where are you taking me?" I ask. His pale blue-gray eyes meet mine, stealing the breath from my lungs.
I'm taking you home, to my torture chambers.
He deadpans as if it's obvious. "Torture chambers?" I ask, my voice sounding squeaky suddenly. The smirk on his face makes dread spread through my veins like liquid ice.
Yes, baby girl, because you need punishing for not obeying me.
I swallow hard and tear my eyes away from the depravity sparkling in his irises. This man isn't sane. I know that much from the things I've heard about him, but being in his presence hammers that home. He delights in my fear, so somehow I have to hide it from him. "What do you want from me?" He chuckles, a deep and rich sound that sends goosebumps over every inch of my flesh.
I want information about your family, and I think I'll have some fun with you along the way.
I swallow hard. "I'll never betray my family." I glare at him. "No matter what you do to me."
Never say never,
he murmurs, sliding a large rough hand onto my thigh and squeezing.
I wonder what makes you tick, little girl.
His voice is almost seductive as he speaks.
I can't wait to open you up and learn all your deepest, darkest secrets.
He inches his hand up the skirt of my dress, forcing me to writhe away from him, even though there's nowhere to go. "Get your hand off of me!" I spit, but I hate how feeble my plea sounds. I've got no power here, and he knows it. Spartak chuckles, his hand still inching ever closer to my panties, which are shamefully wet. As he's right. When I first saw this god of a man, I wanted him. Stockholm Syndrome finally made sense when I looked into those pale blue-gray eyes. and I wanted to feel his hands on me, even though he'd taken me captive. Until I learned who he was. I hold my breath as his fingers tease the edge of my lace panties, wishing I could die. Heat prickles over my skin like razor blades as he finally slides a finger right through my lace-clad pussy, groaning as he does.
You're soaking wet,
He breathes, pushing the fabric aside and shoving a thick finger inside of me. I gasp, shocked by the sudden invasion. What the fuck? He smirks, lazily sliding his finger in and out of me. The wet sounds it makes as he does are beyond embarrassing, and I force myself to look anywhere but at him.
I knew I'd seen desire in those eyes when you first saw me.
He licks his bottom lip, eyes flickering shut.
This is going to be so much fun, Amalia.
I swallow hard, hating that my body reacts to this monster's touch. He's just told me he intends to take me to his torture chamber, and I'm dripping wet with desire. My eyes snap shut as I try to ignore him, try to ignore everything. I've known for a long while that there's something wrong with me and my desire for pain and punishment. Normal, vanilla sex doesn't do it for me and never has. But I can't understand why exactly. Perhaps because I've grown up in a world where violence and dominance reign. And in turn, it's made me crave danger and excitement. So now here I am with this dark, beautiful and twisted man who has bound me and is sliding his finger inside of me as if he has the right. And I'm fucking melting for him.
Such a dirty girl you are, getting wet in the hands of a man who will utterly ruin you.
I glare at him, swallowing hard. Fuck you. I spit, but even in my voice there's desire. He chuckles and pulls his finger from my pussy, sliding it into his mouth and sucking it clean.
You wish, baby girl.
The sight of him doing such a dirty fucking thing and calling me baby girl at the same time drives me wild as I clench my thighs together and force my attention out of the window. I'm going to hell, but I'll be damned if I don't drag him down with me.
Chapter 4. Spartak. Amalia's chest heaves frantically as I drag her out of the car and head toward the chambers in the basement. Her fear is intoxicating, but the most intoxicating aspect is the fact she's excited by me. Her wet cunt was enough proof of that. I swing open the door to the third room to the right, which is the nicer of the torture chambers, if you can call it nice. There's a plush bed at the back with restraints affixed and a cage at the top. All my torture implements, and some more sexual ones, are on display on the wall. Amalia gasps, eyes widening.
What the?
She trails off, her face turning pale.
Kill me now.
She mutters. I smirk. Why would I do that when I have every intention of enjoying you? I push her inside and slam the door shut, turning the key and locking us inside together. After all, it's my birthday, and I want to unwrap my present. I spin around and fix my eyes on her. Amalia is trembling, backing away from me.
Don't touch me! My uncle!
I don't want to hear shit about your uncle, I growl. Her face pales as she moves further away, cowering like a startled animal. I can't help the twisted excitement flooding me when a woman shies away from me as I stalk toward her, towering over her like a lion cornering a lamb. Don't be scared, little lamb, I breathe, walking her toward the wall. I'm going to blow your fucking mind. Her lip quivers as her back hits the wall and her eyes widen.
Please don't.
I grab her throat, squeezing. Begging already, baby girl, I ask, smirking at her. But the fun hasn't even started yet. I move my lips to within an inch of hers, allowing my breath to hit her face. By the time I'm through with you, you'll be begging Daddy to fuck you.
Never.
She spits, her beautiful brown eyes turning furious.